Welcome to another edition of Inspired Discussions, where we challenge the way you think, shattering status quos while increasing your self worth. They call me Sibley. Serving people is who I am. It's what I do, and I'm with my co-host.
Remy, realizing energy made me.
What's up? What's up? Our Inspired Discussions family.
Yeah.
We
How was y'all things? How was your Thanksgiving though? I ain't get to ask you that.
you know what? Woo-hoo, let's create. I was showing up. That was showing up was about to be my question because I'm like, I was about
Oh,
to.
I
I
got
was
it.
about to. I was about to say. I was about no, because I was thinking. I was about to say, tell everybody. I hope they had a good Thanksgiving. Then I thought, I'm like, dang, I ain't even asked him how his Thanksgiving was. So I might as well
Oh, well,
ask
I mean,
him.
go ahead,
Oh
do
yeah.
you, my brother, do you?
So yeah. So how was your Thanksgiving?
Well, my Thanksgiving was, I don't want to say bad. I'm gonna say enlightening, appreciative of it. I'll say that only because of how I looked at my situation. Because I was sick, so I was like, yeah, I was already sick. It was a wrap. I ain't go nowhere. Couldn't do nothing. I just stayed in the house and just hope family would bring some leftovers over. But hey, that's better than going to the hospital, so I take it. But I was sick. But either way, at the end of all that, which was yesterday, I think, I'm appreciative of it. That's for sure. Some things, I said this to my mom yesterday or day before. Hey, sometimes you got to get sat down in life because you ain't gonna do it yourself. But
Facts.
God be like, you know what? I'm gonna need you to just stop.
Take it easy, right quick.
I'm gonna need you to just stop. All right? Like, all right.
Take it easy, right quick. And that
So
come in different forms, cause I could
facts.
I could say what I was experiencing or whatnot. Going through the mental barriers I was going through. That was him telling me, hey, slow down. Reground. Take it
Mm,
easy, right? You know what I mean? So just to draw that little parallel. That's why I love our chemistry, man, and just the way we talk and the way we think, because
hey,
we can pull anything out of anything. Oh,
facts.
and
Facts.
my Thanksgiving was before I get to talking because
Oh, I wasn't gonna let you go without it because I was definitely gonna bring it right back up. Like, so my question was,
but no, my Thanksgiving was smooth though, man. I do the holiday thing more so for everybody else because I rather on some real be kicking having the type of day outside of you
enjoy
being
it.
sick, having the type of day like you had, just chilling at home, you know,
It's all good.
doing a couple hours. But I guess all in all, man, I guess it's always good to be around family. I guess, man.
You got it like you ain't eating no good cooking, no nothing. I'm
Uh,
like,
I
dang.
mean, but that's what I'm saying, man. Like I don't be, yeah, I ain't good food, but
It's just another
that's
typical holiday to use what you saying.
yeah, exactly. I
All
don't
right,
be getting it
I can
too
respect that.
you know, too in
Mm,
depth, with it.
true. I mean, considering you don't want to go too in depth with typical holiday at Thanksgiving, I just
I
want to
mean, I don't
turn the
really
block. I just want
care about all that.
I just want to drive around the corner, bro. I was trying so hard to not bring that sweet potato pie over here in front of this camera and just eat and talk. I'm like, bro, I gotta go take another bite. So when I went to get that water, I had to get another bite of that pie. I wanted to grab the whole thing and just sit it here. I'm like, nah, that's gonna ruin the image, but I probably wouldn't care. But hey,
Oh, my mama did make me a little personal this little strawberry, like it's this strawberry crumb cake that she make, and It's
Strawberry
like,
crumb cake.
yeah, it's like it's a strawberry cake with cream cheese frosting in it. Like she make up some type of crumb stuff out of gelatin.
It's like a cake or a cheesecake.
No, it's a cake. It's a cake. It just got a special type of, I guess,
Okay.
topping. I
I'm
guess you would call it on it.
I'm
It's
just
it's
typing it. Oh,
it's everyone. So
gotcha.
I
Gotcha.
just call it strawberry crumb cake because it kind of look like crumbs on the top, and it's a strawberry cake.
It
So
definitely does. You are 100% correct, sir. Yes, it does.
yeah, is that what it's called? What you looked it up?
Yeah. I typed in exactly what you said, and I was
Okay,
going based off your description, which one of these images looked the most familiar. And I see
yeah,
one. Yeah, it definitely do look like somebody just crunched up a whole bunch of red
yeah.
tortilla chips or whatever.
You funny. It do look like some tortilla chips or something.
But hey,
No,
if it's
it
good,
kind of
it's good.
it favor hot Cheetos though. It look more like hot
Whoa,
Cheetos.
whoa, 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 whoa. Wait, what? Wait, what?
No,
What was that?
it's not hot Cheetos. What's on top of it? It looks more like hot Cheetos.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Ooh,
Yeah,
that's good.
let's do a podcast though before we get to
All right, cool. We both enjoyed our Thanksgiving. All right, cool, got it.
right.
Moving right along.
So we're gonna do some viewer interaction today. We got a very detailed question from off the third episode, Forced Lessons, and I I dreadedly went back and replayed the episode because I hate looking at past content because
Oh
it's
my
just so
god.
boo boo. It's just so boo
Mhm.
boo. It was so boo boo. So, but I listened to it in the namesake just to get the context of this question so I can remember because a lot, like I say, like we tell y'all all the time, a lot of these conversations be organic and they're not
Facts.
really mapped out. We may have a general basis of what we're gonna talk about, but
Mm-hmm.
we use that to branch off on the other stuff. So
Yeah, definitely.
I had to go back and listen and to know the context of the question.
Man, power to you, my brother. Power to you.
I know, man. Hey, I don't like it no more than you, but I did see that. That's how much I love y'all viewers, our viewers, the people that listen to us. Like I want to give y'all supreme value, so I go out here and I'm doing things that um I don't want to say not comfortable with doing, but I just rather not have to listen to an hour of me just sounding boo boo, in my opinion.
You and this boo boo boy. I don't know what's funnier.
All right, but here go the question. And now I got it. No, you got the question still up?
Hey, I definitely
Don't.
do.
Okay,
What?
you
I
read it
said I
because
definitely do. Hold up now.
do not or do because I
I
got it right
def
here.
I
I read it.
definitely do.
Okay, I read it. Don't worry about
You
it. I
sure?
read it. Yeah, I
I
got it,
have it.
man. I got it. I
All
got to
right,
face.
all
I
right.
got to face my fears and reading out loud in front of the class.
Oh well, I respect it. Go do you, my brother. Do you?
It's not necessarily a fear. That was a joke, everybody.
Hey, I didn't say it.
All
He did.
right. Do you think that it's mentally healthy to deal with all your burdens, tragedies, hurdles by yourself? Couldn't a learned lesson be presented to you through someone else's issues? Or what if it's just a lesson on how to be a better person, friend, even if it's just to listen or even support? I believe lessons can be presented through other struggles. Some things are meant to be for you and only you, but I don't think everything is. Everything that happens to you makes and molds you into the person you are / become and are meant to be shared for others to know they are not alone? Or does that depend on the kind of personality a person has?
Mm, mm.
So it's first when I actually dissect the
Hmm.
the thought, I was like, and I dissected thought, and then that's why I had to go back and get context from the episode, because I'm like, I want to make sure I'm answering this right, because she was clearly responding based on what we was talking about. So I gotta understand what I was talking about in that moment.
Right.
And when I went back and listened, I don't even agree with everything that I was saying and on that
Mm.
episode in this present moment now. And that's when I instantly knew. I was like, this got to be the topic today, because this is a great example of just growth over. Because what was that, 4 months ago, I think?
Yeah, four
Yeah,
months. Hmm.
yeah. We've been going for four
Right.
months.
Right.
Right,
You just to hear the fact that we're months in, it's like,
right,
okay.
right. So that was 4 months ago, and I have a little different
Months.
opinion on it, and a little context of what I believe. I hit her to see, make sure this was right. But you listen to this, and if I'm wrong in the context of what you meant by some of these things,
Uh,
let us know. I'm talking to her.
oh,
Let yeah, let us. Well, let me know, because I'm the one that's about to speak. Let me know, and we'll make it another episode again, and we'll go redirect.
right.
But just a little context, because on the episode I was talking about, the things that I deal with, as far as with my dad, like I deal with it on, and like my burdens being my burdens, and I don't put that on other people. And I halfway feel different. And a lot of it goes to what I was talking about last week about me having to mentally reset, because I was just about to break down, and just all of it is done, it's
Right.
over. And so to answer the question, is it mentally healthy? Absolutely not, because I experienced that it wasn't. I
Oh,
experienced,
well.
you know what I'm saying? I experienced that it wasn't. Although I still do believe my burdens are my burdens, and I'm
Right.
not, that's not for anybody else to
Agree or disagree.
no, not necessarily agree or disagree, to
Debate.
uh to where to know to 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 carry the load. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Mm. Okay. Okay.
To
Okay.
carry the load of those. Like I still feel that way. But what I know now through that whole experience is I
Hmm.
have to channel ways to get that out in some type of form, and just free it out my mind. And it's just so amazing how just everything come tenfold. I was watching a Jeezy interview. I think it was a Hot 97 one. They just, him and Gucci just did that versus battle or whatever.
Mm. I think I know the interview you're talking about too. Hmm.
Yeah, and they squashed their beef or whatnot. And he asked him a question about one of the songs on the album, and him addressing, some people dissing him and whatnot, and him addressing it. And he was like, and the name of the track is something therapy, like something therapy. And he was like, yeah, man, like I'm just at a place in my life right now where I go in, I get out what I get out, however it may be, and I do that mostly through music. I get it out, and I be done with it. I don't put energy on it. And
Right.
it was so amazing, because I had, this in my mind about touching on this, and I was like, man, I don't even feel the same way. It was right after I got done listening to our episode. I was watching that,
Oh,
and I
what?
right, exactly. And I was like, man, this just tie in. And I'm like, okay, I need to bring more of this to the podcast and use that,
Mm.
what I mean, to get it out.
Right.
And
Right.
no, be done with it. I have done it up to this point, but I don't think I'm digging deep enough. You know what I mean? So That's what I dissected from that. So I don't want to, babble all, and steal
Oh no,
the
that's
spotlight
what
of
we
this
here for.
episode.
That's
Steal
what we here for.
the spotlight of the episode. But
So
yeah,
you want to tackle it from the first one going down, like within the question?
yeah,
Do you think that
let's
it's mentally healthy to deal with all your burdens, tragedies, hurdles by yourself? With that one alone, do I think it's mentally healthy to deal with these on my own? Yes and no, only because like you said, you had your answer for that because of the experience that made you have a definite answer in that direction. The experience alone. So it's like there's nothing really you can say about that. So I'm agreeing in the same context if it's mentally healthy to deal with all on your own. Because like always, once again, this is probably gonna be a setup every single time. I go into a sickle cell. It's like as soon as you see me say, well, once again, you already know, okay, it's a sickle cell statement coming. So with that, I mean, with me having sickle cell and going through stuff, and just the way that I look at those burdens, those tragedies, those hurdles, especially when I was going through them in that moment, if I didn't have the understanding that I have now, I mean, yeah, I can definitely have those to be mentally challenging and unhealthy, because even through that, even with me having a crisis, knowing that I'm the only person having this crisis in this moment, and I'm around nothing but family, of course I can identify with the fact that nobody else is going to understand what level I'm on, or what I'm going through
I
spiritually, mentally, or whatever,
yeah,
because it's me.
yeah.
So
I love that you just said that, because that's what I was thinking, because that's what I struggle with. Just that same thing, but with the opposite. I'm not, you know, you was like you not conflicted, because you understand, like people understand this is what you have. But it's like with me, with my
yeah,
dad's situation, it was like, where do I go? Like who can I really talk to that's gonna understand this? You know what I mean? Because
right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? And like that's the kind of answer her question on
It's being mentally healthy to deal with
no, yeah,
all your
the mentally healthy, or I believe lessons can be presented through other struggles, or be a better person, or friend, or even just to listen, or even support. And I say that to say this, like just my personality, and this probably answer her question at the end about it depends on what type of personality it is.
right.
If you can't connect to me and create some type of dialogue off of what I'm saying and that I can relate to, I don't want to vent to you for you just to listen. Because I don't want to just get out. I want a dialogue. I want you to help me through this. And if you can't do that, like you're not gonna serve me. That's not saying like that
Mm,
the things that you gonna say that wouldn't be of value. But if you haven't experienced what I'm going through, like the credibility in what you saying is hearsay. You haven't been in this moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
right.
you might, because it's like I always say, like when it
Mm,
happened, I'm like, losing your dad and your mom is two totally different experiences. Two total different experiences, because you have two different relationships with your mom and your dad. Like, you know what I mean?
right.
Like, your mama is, it's a certain type of connection between a mother and their child that a dad don't have. And like I know that from experience, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And it took me a while, you know, to just accept that, you know what I mean? Just to accept that, because that's hard knowing that's more the January episode with Cherish. A little promo to that.
Well, okay. With that as well, like I said, yeah, I definitely agree and understand that, and it's a two-sided question for me just because of that. Like I said, with me being sick and around family within that moment, nobody still have that understanding of what I'm going through in that moment, mentally, physically, spiritually, or on any scale. But yet, if I don't have the now this is me comparing to how I used to think and act compared to now. Used to, it was just one way or the other. Like, all right, I feel like I can rely on this person for this specific reason. If it ain't this person or this person or this person, then it's only my burden, period, at the end of the day. But now I can also identify with the fact, for those exact same moments, there may be value there, not necessarily for me, but yet for somebody else. And it could be a cousin who probably done seen me get sick several times or whatever, but for some reason, that one time when I got sick, the cousin or close friend, whoever it may be, they got a different understanding for a whole nother reason. And I could have just been the reason for them to get that understanding or value. So it's like it goes both ways. So it's definitely something you would have to identify with, you as a person in that moment, because it still goes back to how you look at things, how you perceive things in that moment. You either choose to think about it this way and act accordingly, or you choose to act on it this way and you think about it on the opposite scale of that. It's one of the two. So something like that, yeah, it's both for me. Now, with it being mentally healthy, though, dang, this just hit me too. In those same moments, those moments where I feel like it was just so stressful and hard for me to go through in that moment, I didn't have the perspective and understanding of the fact that most of the time when I get sick, I'm presenting value to somebody else's life and not even necessarily my own most of the time. But once I gathered that understanding, I didn't have that. I wasn't stressing it anymore, really. So mentally healthy wise, yeah, that's the only time I can say for sure that it took a mental toll on what I was going through in the moment. When I was starting to think the fact of, all right, well, I got to keep going through this, blah, blah, blah. It was just stressful because I was thinking that way. But yet, once I realized what was going on, and it really was just me going through because somebody else was going to see me go through, it wasn't mentally stressful, hurtful in any circumstance. I just had that understanding. It was like, you know what? Even though I'm the only person going through it, that doesn't take away from the fact that I also could have been the only person for that person to get a different perspective on something in their life, which is probably completely unattached to what I'm going through. So
does that root back to that incident in the hospital with my man dying or whatnot? Do that understanding of that root back to
that? That's a perfect example with that.
Because I'm like, man, is this whole episode about to come tenfold? Is he about to mention that?
I mean, everything kind of do come at this point. Everything come tenfold because I'm presenting sickle cell in every video. Kind of mess. So it is exactly that. But that's a good example. So for those who have seen me explain and share that story in episodes before this one,
episode 3, Force Lessons. Everybody go check it out.
Yo, with me sharing that in that moment, with me being irritated and like, bro, I'm not even trying to talk to you. Just leave me alone. I'm ignoring your whole existence right now as my neighbor on the other side of this curtain. And then once it got to the point to where I acknowledged it and was aware of the response and the actions that came after it, it was like, yo, that whole time I was really stressing myself out just because I didn't want to be bothered with dude. But at the end of the day, just because the way it played out, it's like, yo, I stressed myself out for no reason in that case. The
Yeah,
value in that was for me to understand.
yeah, I
So
get it. And I think that may be where the root of her things are meant to be shared for others to know that they're not alone. You know what I mean?
yeah, yes.
You know,
With me
I
being
think,
having sickle cell, that's the easy
yeah,
thing. Sickle cell
yeah,
advocate. Yes, yes.
so and you know,
Go
I
ahead.
get this. I get this because I get her root of it because like I say, I've changed, you know, how I move on certain things, you know, now and I do understand, you know, how you bringing your situations to the front for it because that's what I do on the podcast. You know, I bring my real life situations in, and I put them out there, and I hope people can, you know, learn from, you
Right,
know, anything that I say because it's all personal development at the end of the day, or at
right,
least that's what my objective is, you know, to help people personally grow.
right.
But like
And
just my only thing is just it's it's hard, you know, sharing those type of things with somebody that, you know, that
true.
just, you know, that just don't know, even if they want to be there. And I give you a prime example because in the midst of all of this, it was the first time that like I even like because I don't even share stuff like this on Facebook or no, if it's not
Right.
inspiring or you know something that's of laughter that's gonna make somebody laugh or something, I don't even share it. You know, I don't give no type of peek
Yep.
into
Yep.
my mental state or you know any of that. I just don't do that. You know,
I
those
respect that for sure.
old habits of the past. But one day, man, I just I guess it just hit me. And I guess I was really going through. I had to be because it was so out of character. And I shared it was this post and it said, what did it say? It was like the worst thing about being strong is nobody know when you hurt it. And I shared it. You know, a couple
The
people liked
worst
it.
thing about being strong.
It
Could
nobody knows
could you repeat
nobody.
that?
The worst thing about being strong is nobody knows when you hurting.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, I shared that, and you know, my cousin hit me up like, "Cuz, you good? You know, I'm here, and you know, I respected
Mm,
it or whatnot, and you know, I got it. The reason why, but at the end of the day, I thought I'm like, cuz can't help me what I'm going through right now. Cause what I'm dealing with, I don't really want to hear the cliche shit that he about to tell me because you know, you know, no, for real, and that's you know,
nah, I get what you said.
I love cuz, but it was like, and that's why I haven't hit you yet. I'm gonna hit you just because I need to hit you. But yeah, if you listening to this, I'm gonna
Right,
hit you
right.
because I just need to hit you. But I didn't hit you because I didn't want to hear all the cliche shit because you really don't know what to tell somebody that's going through what I'm going through because you haven't experienced it. You know what I'm saying? Like even if you know people that have, if you haven't been in those shoes, like
Hmm.
you can't help me like that. And I'm a firm believer on that. Like you cannot help me. Like you can tell me to, you know, stay strong and you build it, but that's all that shit that like I already know all of that. Like how do I
Right.
mentally get over these thoughts and you know and
Right.
whatnot. So yeah, that's how
Hmm.
I feel about that.
Dang.
Hope I wasn't too harsh.
I
Cuz
mean,
ain't got cuz ain't got no he ain't got he got thick skin. He understand my intentions and where my heart is.
God know my heart.
Right. Ain't that what they always say? God know my heart.
Oh man, that golly, dang, that's one of those. I should have been typing while you was talking because I just got overload right now.
Oh
Stuff starting to
yeah,
get deleted because I can't remember what I was thinking about, but I was listening to you
I
and
did
it
I
was giving
did
me the thoughts. But
I did spew out a lot there.
man, all right, dang. I know the next part was tied into the couldn't have learned lesson be presented to you through someone else's issues. Oh, that's okay. It just came back to me. All right, cool. So now going into the following statement or question, couldn't a learned lesson be presented to you through someone else's issues? Once again, sickle cell example, those moments when I was sick and I was thinking all these negative, I don't want to say necessarily negative thoughts, but they definitely weren't positive. It was, why me, Lord? Why I gotta go through this? I'm tired of being in here, etc., etc., etc. In those moments, if I would have realized that it's not necessarily about me, even though I'm the only person going through it, it's more so about whoever is the person that is watching me, whether it's me in the waiting room, in the back of an ambulance, whoever is around me and observing me going through it. Hey, I mean, that could be a lesson for them. Period.
I
And
mean,
in those moments, I was stuck on myself, like, why me? Why I gotta go through it? And I was just putting those thoughts and that type of energy upon myself just because of that, which is understanding because nobody want to be in the hospital, be in pain all the time. But now realizing it and looking back, it's like, you know what? That crisis wasn't necessarily about me being in a crisis. It was more so about this person who was observing me going through a crisis. They gained something which I may not ever know, but I do know a few of them where it's like, you know what? Dang, that actually did help them. I've had been in the back of an ambulance since moving out or whatnot, which I had never really been in one outside of moving out. I came across people that you would think have a complete understanding of certain issues and pains and whatnot, even though I know sickle cell is a black disease according to people, to say the least. But at the same time, with me with me having a
uh-oh.
conversation, with me having a conversation to the person that's taking care of me, and I'm still in pain, crying or whatnot, I still have that thought like, oh snap, they don't even know this about sickle cell. Oh well, this whole ride to the hospital, oh, this about to be a learning lesson. Period. And it was all genuine. It was like, you know what? Look at that. I was in pain the whole time, crying the whole way there, and I identify with the fact that this person don't know this about sickle cell, and then they openly admitted the fact that they never had any type of altercation or experiences with someone having sickle cell. And I was like, dang, so I'm the first person to present this said value and thought to them. That's a lesson for them necessarily, not for me, even though I can look at it as a lesson for me as well.
That's
But it's like, yo,
that's most definitely a different way of looking at that because I was going back to it just depends on because what I couldn't a learned lesson be presented to you through someone else's issues.
yep, I
On,
was
on
someone else's issue.
only like the way okay, that's a different perspective of looking at it right there because that's a different perspective because I like I say I was going the total different direction with it because I was gonna say only if that person experienced it before. Because I just go back to like
True.
you can't I can't learn. I mean, I guess if okay. I guess if you look at it from a standpoint, somebody sharing something with you and like, well, okay, yeah, because I go back more.
Yeah,
So okay, I get
yeah.
it. Okay, I get it now. Yeah, so it can go. It can go
I
both
mean,
ways.
hey, it's not necessary.
It just
It's not.
it's no right or
It's
wrong. It's no right or
right. That's
wrong.
exactly what I was about to
It's
say.
no
Like, it's
right or
no right or
wrong.
wrong to that. That's why we got these
Yeah,
perspectives up here between the two of us. Like,
absolutely.
it's how you look at it. Well, what's the next one there? Do you okay? Let me just reread it, and I'm gonna go straight into the next one. Do you think that it's mentally healthy to deal with all your burdens, tragedies, hurdles by yourself? Couldn't a learned lesson be presented to you through someone else's issues? Or what if it's just a lesson on how to be a better person slash friend, even if it's just to listen or even support? So we're hitting the what if it's
I,
just a lesson on how to be a better person or friend?
and I'm gonna go back to what I said. Like, if you ain't, I done about answered, I done about answered it to the best way I can because I'm just gonna go back. I want a person that I just don't want somebody just listening to me because it's kind of make me a little bit more irritated because I'm like, what you got for me? Like, you ain't got no feedback. You know what I mean? Because I like to learn, I like to grow, so I just
That's
don't
what
want.
it was.
You know
Okay.
what I'm
Go
saying?
ahead, go ahead. My fault. My fault. Go ahead.
I just don't want to listen. I just don't want to, be or being listened to, I should say. You know what I mean? I want that feedback. Give me a nugget that can help me grow. You know what I'm saying? Overcome what I'm dealing with right now. So that ain't
All
just
right.
so cliche. That's why I don't do the sorry for your loss and all of that stuff. Cause through my that experience, I learned like that should be the last shit that you want to hear. Like
Mm,
I get the intentions of it. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
Like I get the intentions of it, but like, what you sorry for? Like, oh man, I can go. I don't even want to touch
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
So,
That last part right there, I could tackle that so many ways, but I'm not.
yeah,
I'm not.
I get it though. I get it that it all be pure intentions, but maybe I'm just different too. I'm
No,
different
you
too
just
though.
got a different outlook on it. That's what makes us us
I'm
right
just
now.
different too.
My thing, what if it's just a lesson on how to be a better person slash friend, even if it's just to listen or even support? All right, before I answer that, I want to respond to your statement because that's what my thought was previously that I had lost with you saying that you ain't been in my shoes. How you gonna tell me something you ain't been through?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
With
yeah,
with
yeah.
with that same context, how I'm looking at well, first if I was to look at it through that statement, I'm the only person with sickle cell in my whole family. So technically, the whole family can't tell me nothing about it. Period.
They
There's no
can't
advice
though.
you can give me.
Not really. Not outside of the things that they know that you should be doing. They can't though. You need
Right now,
somebody in your culture and community to relate to that been experiencing what you go through.
dang, I don't want to. Okay,
Ah,
I don't need them to necessarily. I don't need to necessarily. Me personally, I don't need to necessarily have a closer connection or relation to somebody else just to get advice from them. Because now, when it goes into if it's just to listen or even support, knowing that
I'm
I'm the
not.
only person in what
I'm not saying that you need a close relationship. I'm saying what your mama can tell you, or your brothers, or auntie, or whoever, or even myself can tell you about sickle cell and how to deal with certain things. are gonna be night and day with somebody that actually has sickle cell and actually
Okay.
experiences certain things. You know,
All right.
that's what I'm saying. So,
Okay, yeah, in that context, I get you.
so
Because
yeah,
once you said need, I was like, oh Lord Jesus, I don't want to break down his statements and then dive back into this statement. I'm like, you know what? I got to keep them separate. I got to keep it separate. But okay, yeah, with you breaking it down that way, yes, I can agree for sure. Now, when it comes, like I said, when it comes down to the listen or even support, me knowing that I'm the only person on both sides of the family that have full blown sickle cell, there definitely have been moments to where with somebody else providing that extending hand to help you, though I know that in that moment they can't necessarily help me, because most of the time it's like when I'm in pain, don't talk to me, let me concentrate and focus on what's going on with me internally, period. Don't touch me. Like, there's just stuff that probably only my household would know, like brother, sister, mom, and dad, and then anybody else outside of that trying to extend a helping hand. There have been those moments to where it's like, you know what, I respect the fact that they're making it noticeable that they want to help, at least, though I know they can't. I'm like, all right, cool. So I know where to kind of place you in regards to
yeah,
when I'm going through a crisis. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
yeah. It was like that's the same thing I said with Cuz. I'm like, Cuz, I appreciate that, but you know, you can't help me on this issue because you don't
Dang, I want to say that example so bad.
What example?
I get you. I'm trying to think of a way to hey, this might be the first time I'm trying to think of a way to sugarcoat it. I tell you that. But all I'll say is there's definitely the example I'm gonna try to give without giving too much. For those who know, they know. Whatever. There have been those moments when I get sick around family outside of my household, mom, dad, brother, sister, and then I instantly notice who is reacting.
After
You
our
want
technical
you want to
difficulties, everybody, we had technical difficulties, so excuse everything that y'all that got cut off before he got cut off talking. So let's get back into it.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah. I mean, for you, like I said, if you know, you know. Whatever. Knowing that I would get sick and then I would be around people outside of my household, like I said, mom, dad, brother, sister, with them extending that helping hand or whatnot. It's like, all right, cool. I appreciate that. I know where to place you in regards to when I get sick, if you're around at the end of the day. So in that case, that's how I'm looking at her question of what if it's just a lesson on how to be a better person slash friend, even if it's just to listen or even support. Like, knowing that nobody can really give me that real assistance of what I'm going through with a sickle cell crisis, but yet you're letting me know that you're more than willing to provide any help that I need. But and with people panicking, like, I know that as well. So it's like, I know that you don't understand what's going on, but just because of me seeing how you move around the fact of when I am sick, all right, cool. I know where to place you when you're around. So it makes them a better person in my head, because it's like, all right, I know pros is right here. If this person is around, they're going to respond. So yeah, that's the only way I could think about that. Period. Because like I said, it's definitely been some times where people will panic and not know what to do. even though I'm telling them exactly what to do in the moment, they panic. And I'm like, yo, that's the one thing that I'm really telling you not to do right now, several times over, is to not panic. And it's like, yo, I'm feeling more scared for my life in the fact of you being around than me actually going through the crisis. That's all I'll say in that case. Like I said, if you know, you know, cool. But I don't want to throw nobody under the bus.
Shots fired! Bang, 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 bang.
If you know, you know. All right. So yeah.
Bang, bang. Let's move on.
What was the next one? Everything that happens to you makes and molds you into the person you are or become, and are meant to be shared for others to know they're not alone? Or does that depend on the kind of personality a person has? What you thinking on that
one? The first part of it, sharing things so people that know they're not alone, like that's the whole purpose of why I'm so open of the podcast, you know. So I most definitely agree with that.
Facts. Yep.
And why I said, and I don't think I think that's kind of in response to some of the things I was saying in that video, and I was like, I don't totally agree with that now in this moment, because that's why I've been more, and it's just so amazing. I got this comment because I got this comment after I made the commitment. It was like I'm gonna start being more open, and like really, unfolding on the podcast now, and just like really putting, like I was putting it out there at first, but I could dig deeper, like I was saying. You know what I'm saying? I could dig deeper, and I'm digging deeper now. And just okay, here it is. This how it is. Boom, boom. Like take the information
I respect that.
and you know what I mean. Grow with it. So that's how I feel about that. I agree with it 100%.
I'm okay. I'm conflicted with like one specific part, but I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna answer the part that I have an actual response to. Everything that happens to you makes and molds you into the person you are / become, and are meant to be shared for others to know they're not alone. That statement, of course, I can easily relate to. Knowing the things that I've went through growing up, period, with sickle cell, and being able to grow mentally, spiritually, and gain that awareness of what's going on when I am sick, has definitely showed me that it's not just about me when I'm sick. So yeah,
you were humbled.
It's presenting value to.
Yes, by our definition.
Yeah. I'm just
by our
say
definition.
yeah.
Yeah. By our definition
I'm
from our
appreciative of
podcast.
it. To you makes and molds you into the person you are. Definitely. I say that nonstop. Yes. Hands down. I still say that to this day. I don't think I'm ever gonna change that. Me having sickle cell has been the greatest positive in my life on so many levels. It has helped me to think and act a certain way that I don't think I would have gotten anywhere else. And that's not to discredit how I was raised, mom and dad raising me. It's just so many more lessons and values, even on a deeper level of spiritual, that I've gained from it. It definitely has, helped me understand that it pretty much made me who I am today and will continue to do. at the end of it all. The only part that I'm I'm thrown off about is, or does that depend on the kind of personality a person has? Because when I hear that, what
I
I'm
think
seeing and thinking is, in order for someone to have a specific personality, no, somebody having a specific personality can only be made and molded by the stuff that happens to them and can't share what's going
no,
on with them
no,
to
I
other
don't
people.
think I don't think that's the context of what she meant on that. I think that's more of a when she say that depend on the kind of personality the person has. I think she mean as far as sharing it with others so they knowing that they're not being alone. I think that's the context of that. You such a goddamn
So,
deep thinker, boy. I tell you. You be
man,
overthinking stuff sometimes.
bruh, like even with you saying that, I'm still like, so with that, like a personality. Why does a personality matter in between you sharing something that you're going through, or
because
being
because
you
that
being
that
able
that
to understand what made you?
no, because that I think that's what I'm saying. I think it's in the context of a person wanting to just to share their story. It might not be a part of their personality. They might not be that type of person. I think that's the context of that statement. Or at
Okay,
least that's how
because
or
I'm
at least
like,
that's how I took it after I read it. But I do get why. Yeah, you putting it together. I think it should just been she could have just left it out, to be quite honest, and
yeah,
just
yeah.
left it
Like if
alone.
I remove it, cool. But since it's there, that's why I'm like, all right. So personality holds a factor in this. Why? I don't get that. I don't care what personality you have, and of course, I could be out of context. Gonna watch it and see my response, but that's how I'm looking at what you type. Like, why does a personality matter within this period? Because at the end of the day, when it comes down to you realizing who you are, what made you, and you being able to share personal experiences that you've gone through, good or bad, that only comes down to me. That only comes down to the growth that you've had as a person on several different levels,
Is it,
mentally,
it
physically,
isn't that
spiritually,
isn't that
whatnot.
that's the personality though? Because what is personal development? It's personality
I thought,
development. You know what I mean? So like now when you look at
okay,
it
now
that
see,
way, you got me thinking deep about it now. But that is
yeah, because I'm like,
personality. Like
personality, I'm like, all right, my personality, I'm like humorous, jokingly, sarcastic, blah, 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 cool to be around. Like the different qualities that make up my personality that you know you're going to get from me at the end of the day. And you have yours, but I'm like, at the end of the day, why do any of those qualities matter? You still going to grow. You're still going to be aware of the fact that you're growing, and whether or not you choose to share any moments with you as an individual has nothing to do with your personality. You can be an
yes, it
asshole at the
does. Yes, it
end of the
does.
day
Because
your
it
whole
decides
life.
if you want to be open. You might not be an open person because it's not a part of your personality. So it does.
Okay, I see where conflict is coming in now. Okay,
Yeah.
I respect what you said, but I see where the conflict is coming in now.
Yeah, so yeah, we got some
So
we got some
I'm,
we got a little bit of resistance on that right there.
it comes down. The conflict comes down to how we're looking at the word personality.
It
That that's
does.
that's
It
what it
does.
is.
It does. It does. That's why I think we
So
looking
I
at it
typed it up.
on two
I,
different levels again.
yeah, it's not to say who is wrong or right. I'm perfectly fine with that. So like
Oh,
I respect
I'm right this
what you
time. No, I'm
said
just playing.
for okay, all right. Well, now I'm going to
I'm
list the
just I,
definition.
I just
Personality,
playing.
since I typed that up, it's I was just gonna leave it on neutral grounds, but no, he just had to.
I said I was just playing, but go ahead and read the definition though. Let's get into it. Let's engage.
Oh, okay. It says the combination of characteristics or qualities that form an individual distinctive character. A famous person, especially in entertainment or sports, the quality or fact of being a person as distinct from a thing or animal. And the last one, disparaging remarks about an individual. But the one that I'm relating to the most is the first portion, the combination of characteristics or qualities that form an individual's distinctive character. And the example they have is she had a sunny personality that was very engaging. So even when I'm hearing that sentence, what I'm getting is that person is so open and energetic to where she's welcoming. Like she looked like she's welcoming any type of person to approach her. Like she's open arm type of individual. That's how I'm looking at personality.
That's how I'm looking at it too.
Then I
Because
still
a
go right back
person,
to why, if that's the case,
because a person with that opposite type of personality that's not
combination of
warming like that
characteristics.
might not be, you know, as prone to sharing things with others. And it's all about a personal growth thing and what you
Right.
comfortable with. So
That right there. Yes, that part. Yes. 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 I agree with that right there. It is a personal growth thing at the end of the day. But yeah, for the for you typing that, I'm going to pretend you didn't.
me typing what?
I apologize, but oh no, I'm talking about her response, or does that depend on the kind of personality a person has? I'm like, I'm going to pretend that's not a part of it because it's really
Yeah,
conflicting with
because
my
he
own thoughts.
said you shouldn't even
But I
put
get
that shit
everything.
on the comment. Don't be putting that bull on the. No, I'm just playing.
But if you're watching this and you see that I'm conflicted within that, break it down to me, because I don't know if you really mean that or not. You're saying the characteristics that make up a person matter. So, okie dokie. Appreciate you.
We most definitely appreciate you with the
Wait, that was it? That was the last part?
with the feedback. With the feedback and the interaction, and we encourage everybody to do the same. Like, give us, because y'all see, we'll turn it into content.
Bro, yes. I was so happy for him to say that we got a comment. Oh my god. Yes, finally I get to engage with somebody who watched the video. Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate you a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, y'all light Remy up when y'all do that. It don't. I'm not gonna say.
Yes, y'all do.
I like, I just, it like, I appreciate y'all listening, so like that's my love language of the podcast. Y'all just listening. Y'all give us more feedback so y'all can interact with Remy in that way, so y'all can
feed his definitely
his desire for us to be live.
Oh my god, yes. Lord
fire,
Jesus.
feed that. So that's why I was like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this episode where we do a little bit of feedback and it's a little interaction.
Yes. Thank you very much for supporting us and commenting. I really appreciate that. And like you said, hey, that makes my day when I see that. I'm like, yes, I get to do that. So like at the moment, so this is a first time experience for me as well. Having somebody comment or say something that watched on the other side of the lens instead of talking to family or somebody who I feel is gonna really give me the sugar coated version.
Facts.
This right now, this is probably like top 3 in regards to making my day. First one would be food. Second would be Chinese food. The third one is your comments. Please keep doing that.
Facts. And I guess the takeaway from this episode. You want to say hi to everybody? Oh, okay. Oh well, they gonna hear you and they see your hair, so
right.
You gonna be on the podcast this week.
Yeah.
So just a takeaway. I guess for me is don't be open to leaning on, I guess, people in your circle, I guess, to keep you grounded. You don't have to do it all alone.
Oh, wait. Okay.
Yeah.
You threw me off. I thought you said don't be open. I'm like, wait a minute. Mean that?
Hold on, wait. I probably did.
You started with don't. And I'm like, wait, did he mean that?
I meant, oh yeah, dang, I did. Baby girl, she kind of threw me off a little bit.
Okay. All right.
I mean, don't be so opposed. Don't be so opposed to doing things on your own. Be open to leaning on your support system and the people that's there for you.
Yes. So, yes. Yeah. Definitely.
Yes. That's what you got anything?
I don't necessarily got anything, but with this, all I can say is definitely just be open to hearing somebody else's perspective and trying to gather an understanding of that said perspective instead of just shooting down that perspective.
No right or wrong.
That's what it comes down to. Yeah. There's growth everywhere. Depends on how you look at it.
Facts. Absolutely facts. We thank y'all for tuning in with us.
Yes, indeed.
Same time, same place next week. We love y'all. Let's create.
All right. Well, since we're gonna keep that in there, then I guess one thing I definitely want to suggest that we have now for moments like this, because I mean, who's to say it's gonna happen again? Even though I'm gonna be on the computer this time, but we should have one of those. I don't know. Have you seen like on some? I don't even want to say podcast, but just in general, you'll be watching something on YouTube, and then let's say the camera went out on their end, and they'll have like their logo go up or something. It'd be like a transition to a different camera, so you still have a visual at the end of the day.
Right.
That helps break up, like with me leaving like that, it doesn't come across too awkward. I can just throw in a transition of our logo or something, and then bam, I'm right back up there like I never left. So I can just cut that out, and they'll never know. But we start putting that in there on a regular, it'd be just like another transition. They won't even know that something happened on the other side.
Yeah, I like it. Just don't let it happen again. I like that better.
I can even create that actually. Yeah, I'm gonna create that. I'm gonna send you something anyway. You gonna like it no matter what.
No, it's all good. If you have it before the morning, you're gonna have it before the morning, or that's just something just in case next time you want me to incorporate it on this one, because I feel like cutting it off where you got cut off at, and then how I picked it back up, like y'all disregard, for getting cut off, and then we picked right back up smooth.
Oh, where? Oh, okay. No, but we can keep it like that then. I didn't know what was happening on your end anyway.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
because
I don't know if you just stopped.
Because, like I said, before you hit that text, we was cool because I was just talking and, I was just talking and making up for it and just looking and seeing when you was going to come back on. And then I lost my train of thought when I checked your message seeing what you were saying. And then it just messed it up. And so then I just sat here. I'm like, I'm just going to wait for him now. And then you came back on. So
My bad. My bad.
then I restarted it with that piece. So yeah, I can cut it off where your shit started messing up, where you was like, don't do this to me right now. I cut it off right
Oh,
there.
you got that in there?
Yeah, like that yeah, like right there. Like, cause I could hear you, but your screen was
Oh
froze.
shoot.
I could still hear you, but your screen was just off. Like your audio was straight for a second.
Right.
And then you cut off, and then I picked up, and I was like, he must have got cut off or something. And then I kept going. I was talking, and then
All
I
right.
say you broke my chain. But I just cut all of that out and then just pick it back up where we picked back up at, because it flowed.
Okay.
It flowed. We'll be all right.
Yeah,
Long as I got
you said you had it. All right.
hey,
Cool.
shit. We got episodes with me having no mic on, man. Long as I got something to work with at the end of it, like I'm
for real, like out there on the channel.
Yeah, remember a couple weeks ago when my mic went on?
Yeah. Oh, that you posted that still? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they could still hear me. It just wasn't the mic quality.
Got you. All right, cool.
It was the headphones. That's what it was. It was the headphones, Mike.
Right. All right, cool. Well, no, I won't. I'm gonna still create something, but no, it won't be. I'm gonna take your word for what you're saying, so we can just leave it like that.
Oh yeah, man, we'd be straight. As long as I got something to put out Wednesday, that's what I'm happy with. But I ain't about to hold you up, man, because I'm hungry. I ate today.
Yes, I'm about to go get this sweet potato pie, bro.
Yeah,
I hear you.
All right, bro. You have a great rest of the week, man. I'll see you Saturday.
All right, yo.